Hey guys, welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to today's live. Welcome. It's Sunday, July the 12th, 2026. So, figured I'd get that out there right away. We did get the camera fixed. If you were in for last night's live, I said I thought I messed with the camera. I think I really messed with it because it was like over there. I think my brain was telling me to put it back where it used to be. If you guys have been on the channel any length of time, my camera, I used to be over there. My camera used to be like at an angle. And so if you ever see me looking over like right here, that's probably because I'm trying to look for that camera. But welcome into Titanium Built. If you are new here, my name is Tanya. Nice to meet you. Welcome in, everybody that's not new. It's good to see everybody in here. If we're on a Sunday afternoon. For some reason, my screen doesn't have me coming up yet. It's just like, you guys can see me, right? There I am. Okay, just making sure. I was like, I can't even see myself. That wouldn't have been good. But welcome in, everybody. And if you are new, like I said, my name is Tanya, and this is Titanium Built. We do talk true crime on this channel daily, pretty much. We go through court records, like, court documents like we're going to be doing right now. Sometimes they come to us. Sometimes I have to go get them and FOIA them. But either way, we usually get all the documents in. What else do we do on this channel? I can't even think straight. Sorry. It's a Sunday, but there are things that we just, we go over police reports, detectives' notes. We do trials, we do timelines, we do a little bit of everything on this channel. So if that's something you're into, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I promise you won't be disappointed. Will you guys give me 1 second? I am so sorry. I just realized I forgot something. So I got to run to the other side. Give me 30 seconds. Count it down too. I'm going to see if I can go over there 30 seconds back. Oh, I sat down like right at the 30 mark. I didn't make it in time. No, I forgot my dang ring, and I knew if I forgot that, then I would be off for the whole stream would be off. Have you ever seen Mighty Morphin? What was it? Was it Power Rangers, the show? Whatever the show was. I used to watch it as a kid, and I believe in this ring. So we're going to get right into today's live. I'm going to say hi to some people, and then we will get into it. But I just want to let you know, if you guys are following me if you guys are following the House of Horrors case in Benton County, Ohio, we've been covering that on the channel. I think my videos are probably not getting out there because of the fact that they all have limited ads. I've never been hit other than once with like a YouTube, it's not a guideline strike or anything like that. They just take some of the ads off of your videos. It's nothing like horrible but it'll like, I heard it suppresses the videos when they do that. I guess it's probably the wording I'm using. I use the words. That's what we're going to do on this channel. Maybe I should put it under educational instead of entertainment. I don't know. But if you have any ideas, let me know. And hey, Tommy. Hey, Lee. Hey, Felicity. Hey, Kathy. I'll go through your names kind of quick. That way we can get started. Hey, Susan. Hey, she's back. Kathy's back. Hey, Anto. Welcome in. Oh, I did have a good weekend. I hope you had a good weekend too, Kathy. Hey, Laura. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Plain Jane. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I was going to say that, but I was like, I don't know if that's right. You're correct, though. I used to love that show. And then they brought it back when I was an adult. Not so, I didn't watch it as an adult, but I did watch it as a kid. And I'll tell you what, I was into it. Hey, Chris. Oh, I'm glad you do. Well, I'm glad you do. Thank you so much. We're going to get into it today. Like I said, it's Sunday, so I'm like, huh? I was reading through some of these documents actually before the live. And some of them I feel like we may have went over before, but maybe they're just re-releasing them in these documents as well. So we're going to go through them. You guys let me know, and then we can always, skip and go to the next set of documents. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So on our last live over this was last night, we talked about it. We talked about this case and we were going over the documents and we went over the DNA. So a lot of it had to do with like the DNA. And so tonight it looks like it's going to be more of like the blood spatter and stuff like and that kind of evidence. So basically they're releasing documents, if you're wondering why we're getting them now, because Brian Kohlberger, he pled guilty to the murders of Madison Mogen, Kaylee Gonzalez, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle. And he did that. And so whenever he pled guilty, there was no trial. So there was no need to keep these files and these, documents under the non-dissemination order so now we get them. So the first one here is just going to, give us an image of the home, and it gives us a description of it. And it just says the building at 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho, is a multi-level house with 6 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms are located on the first floor as one enters from the parking area, depicted in ISP 4519. The front entrance door depicted between the silver vehicle and the blue vehicle in this image is located on the north side of the building. And then it says there are 2 ways to access the second level, of the residence, either by entering the door on the north side of the building and then traveling up the staircase from the first floor to the second floor, or by entering directly via a sliding glass door located at the back south side of the residence. This sliding glass door on the south side of the building is depicted in one of the pictures and enters directly into the kitchen, this picture here actually, on the second level. This level also includes a living area with a sofa and a beer pong table, a bathroom, the bedroom of Xana Kernodle on the west end of the building, and the bedroom of an additional resident on the east end of the building, who we know now, we know is Dylan. So that's the back. Of course, we've seen that probably umpteen million times, but maybe people haven't. The third level is the uppermost level of the residence. It's accessible via an internal stairway from the second level and contains 2 bedrooms. One bedroom on the third level was reportedly assigned to Kaylee Goncalves, and the other bedroom was assigned to Madison Mogen. The bodies of Kaylee Goncalves and Madison Mogen were reportedly discovered in the bedroom assigned to Madison Mogen. And it's supposed to be depicted in this picture, but it's going to be redacted. Miss Mogen was on the south side of the bed, closest to the closet opening, and Miss Gonzalez was located on the north side of the bed, closest to the wall. Both are covered with a beige comforter. A white fleece item, which appears to be a blanket, is laying at the foot of the bed. Madison, I'm just going to go by their first name. Madison and Kaylee were laying on their backs. Oh, it goes to the last name. Miss Gonzalez was partially lying on top of the right arm, right shoulder, and upper torso of Miss Mogen. So she was laying partially on top of her. And do you guys remember hearing that in the beginning of this case? Like way back in the beginning, we heard that. I heard that. I remember hearing that because I was going to do an experiment with Vincent, because people were saying it wasn't exactly like this, but it was very close. People were saying that the bodies were on top of each other, like thrown on top of each other or something like that, something along those lines. And it might have just been like a good guess. But I remember thinking, like, how would someone be able to pick up dead weight and toss it onto another person? I was thinking this person would have to be like really, really strong. So I was going to like try to have Vincent see if he could pick me up from the floor and throw me on the bed. But I don't think he'd be able to do that. No offense to Vincent, but it's harder than, it looks. So I can see like how they ended up this way without, anybody being on the ground. Right. So, and we will go over, after we're done reading this section, we'll watch the video that Asget made. We watched it before of, what happened in Madison's room. So the posture and proximity of the bodies of Kaylee and Maddie can be visualized when the comforter is removed. And it's going to be depicted in this image that we can't see. So no blood is noted on the bottoms or tops of their feet, indicating they were not upright or moving about the area after their bloodletting injuries were inflicted. The blood visible on the bottom sheet is limited to the upper portion of the bed sheet at approximately chest level. So like everything happened, chest level and up. That's crazy. There was no other blood really on the bed. I don't know where I was at. Okay, I'm sorry. According to the respective autopsy reports, no bloodletting injuries were reported below the waist or on the backs of either Miss Gonzalez or Miss Mogan. So then this image taken at autopsy shows a clearer view of the sleep pants of Kaylee. The lack of blood on the front of her sleeping pants further supports the conclusion that Miss Gonzalez never stood upright after the bloodletting injuries to her upper body were inflicted. I was like thinking about something for a minute. I was like, wait, thank you, Ashley. That's so nice of you. Hey, Glenn. Hey, Plain Jane. I already said hi to you. I'm like, wait a minute. I like the name though. It's cute. And thank you, Ashley. I really appreciate the $4.99. It was very sweet. So then it says Miss Mogan's left leg is extended from under the bed covers, and her left foot is on the floor. So, basically it's like bent at the knee, laying off the bed. A piece of debris is noted on the floor between the left foot of Maddie Mogan and the pillow and is indicated by the yellow oval. It's in the picture, but a swabbing of the debris as well as the debris itself was tested for presumptive presence. Let me make this a little bigger. Of blood. There we go. That's better. Actually, let's make it a little bit bigger too. Okay. The swabbing of this debris yielded a positive presumptive test for blood at the scene, but the O-toiledine test concluded at the laboratory was weakly positive. It should be noted that there were no drip trails of blood noted on the bedroom floor. Drip trails are indicative of movement, by a bleeding individual. They never got up after they were, unfortunately, I guess, I don't know if that'd be a good thing or a bad thing to be able to not get up, but, because maybe it was quick, but yeah, they didn't. Yeah, that's what I'm like. Kaylee could have moved because her body was more on like Maddie. Like she could have been like doing trying to thrust like this, you know what I mean? Instead of maybe she couldn't roll to her back. But I remember at one point the Gonzalez saying that they heard or, they found out that she was sitting upright in the corner with her head slumped over. But that's not how they found her. So I don't know who told them that. But I remember them saying that because I was shocked. I was like, what? Because it appeared to be she would have been trying to get away from him and then, was in the corner. But that's not what this is. That's not what this says. Okay. So in this image, the comforter has been turned inward. The left leg of Maddie Mogan is extended from the bed. Drip stains, spatter stains, transfer stains, and saturation stains are visible on the comforter and on exposed bed sheets. Apparent strands of hair are also visible on the comforter. A large, and it's probably their hair. Girls lose a lot of hair. A large pool of blood has accumulated at approximately the thigh region of Kaylee Gonzalez, even though referring to the autopsy report, no injuries were reported in this area to account for this pool of blood. So maybe that's what they thought. Maybe she sat up. If you sit up, maybe get it on your thigh. Let's see. For this large pool of blood to accumulate, a source of blood had to be above this area while bleeding occurred. Yeah. Okay. A distribution of the bloodstains on the face and upper body of Kaylee. The bloodstains on the south wall beside the bed and the pool of blood at Miss Gonzalez's thigh region on the comforter indicate that her posture and position did change during this event. So it says that it did change. I don't know. I always thought she was sleeping in her own room and she maybe had her door cracked open and Maddie had her door cracked open. They were talking to each other through the door, like before they fell asleep. Because why sleep? Like, if you have your own bed, that's like a big bed, right? It's a big bed. It's made. It's not like we saw the bed through the window. It's not like it had like things on it or it wasn't there or, I mean, why sleep with Maddie if you have your own bed to sleep in? Like, I mean, not saying like anything's wrong with sleeping with your best friend because I used to sleep with my best friend all the time. But I'm just saying, like, it's not like you're drunk and you're going home. You're just going across the hallway to your room, like, I don't know. Especially if, Kaylee was trying to get Jack to come over there. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't she want to be in her own room? I don't know. Hey, Adrian, I don't know if I said hey to you. And hey, Joe. Do you think she sat up? That could be maybe he didn't see her. She was sleeping under the duvet. He might not have noticed that she was going to be there. Thank you, Felicity, for the $2. She said, I hope everyone is having a fantastic Sunday. Well, I know that they were all in there, like, talking and stuff, but I just don't see why she didn't just like go over to her own room. I don't know. She changed her clothes and everything into pajamas. I don't know when that was, though. She could have did that right when she got home. I know me, if I'm going to be, as soon as I get home, something comfortable is going on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not wearing jeans around the house. I am not doing it. I'm just not going to do that. Tell me if you guys do that. You guys wear jeans in your house just hanging around? I can't do it. Spatter associated with the impact is noted on all four walls of the bedroom. And I think a lot of us saw the inside of the bedroom in some of the pictures. Above the head of the bed, to the south wall beside Kaylee Gonzalez, to the north wall, and to the door at the foot of the bed. These areas will be described more fully in this report. That is a lot. Multiple spatter associated with impact and 2 cast-off patterns are noted on the north wall. So, to the right of Kaylee, as depicted in the overview, it shows the area indicated in the yellow box. We're not going to see it, though. The directionality of the spatters closer to the doorway is from right to left and downward as indicated by the yellow arrows. Okay, so then the area of convergence of the spattered and pattern indicates they originated from a spatter producing event that occurred above the level of the bed. And they have 2 patterns of cast off, which is like when, I'm sure you guys know, when you take like a weapon and you pull it backwards, this, the blood that travels with, you pulling the knife away, that's what, that would be. And it's indicated, in the green dots. It says cast off is created by the movement of a bloodied object. So I didn't know I was going to tell you there. So sorry about that. We don't know what these look like. I don't know why I know why they didn't redact those, but I wish that we could see like just the spatter part and where, just so you could see the directionality of it and everything, not the bodies. I'm good. I don't need to see it, anything like that ever again, anything like it. Okay, so then this image is going to depict the spatter stains associated with impact on the door casing and on the exterior surface of the bedroom door belonging to Madison Mogan. What's the door casing? I should know this. It's the trim. So whenever you walk out of the door, the trim on the door. Okay. Well, we knew that they put their arm there, so. They were young teens. Well, yeah. Not me. I'm not young. Shit. The shape and location of these spatter stains are consistent with there being a continuation of spatter stains observed on the north bedroom wall beside the bed. This is consistent with these spatter stains having originated due to an impact delivered to a source of exposed blood on the bed. So did he miss? It says impact delivered to a source of exposed blood on the bed, like bleeding out and then hitting it, like missing maybe and hitting the blood and it spattering. That's pretty smart. I mean, for them to know the difference. So the other image depicts the north bedroom wall by Miss Gonzalez's right arm. And then the following bloodstains are noted on the wall. Spatter associated with the impact. And it was traveling downward and to the right. Transfer. Near the center of the image is a secession pattern. It is indicated by a green arrow. And those patterns are the result of a bloodied object undergoing abrupt deceleration. Flow patterns are indicated by the blue arrows. Okay. And then it says, the appearance of stains making up these flow patterns are consistent with diluted blood. Diluted blood is created when blood is mixed with another liquid. Could it be like their saliva or his saliva? And if it was his saliva, they should have tested that. Like, Okay. The mouth and nose injuries of Kaylee and Maddie, as noted in the autopsies, are potential sources of diluted blood. Well, that makes sense. Your mouth and your nose is going, you're a mucus there, you know what I mean? So that makes sense. I guess this is a cropped image. Oh, it's above the head of Kaylee. Just spatter, like. Okay. This is kind of, of note. No wiping, smearing, or other connection is noted between the 3 transfer stains. So the stains that are on the wall, above Kaylee or whatever, to the right side of Kaylee, there's no wiping, smearing, no cleaning, no smearing of the blood. That's how I take it. These transfer stains were created by discrete movements of contact. No dragging or sliding movement is noted. You might think that, but I'm thinking cleaning. So many people is that cleaning. Oh, they tested everything, I think. Not like everything. Well, not everything, because we know they didn't test everything, but they tested a lot. I think we went over it on one live. I think we'll probably go back over it again, because I think it's probably going to be in this batch of documents. I have a feeling. So then it just says spatter, with Maddie above her head. There are linear saturation stains. I'm just trying to see if any of it is of note. And then this image is supposed to provide a closer image of the area. So these are all images that they would have shown at trial if they would have had a trial. So these images would have been all the images the family would have had to look at again. Or if they had never looked at them, look at them for the first time. The jurors would have had to look at these. The judge. I mean, then this image provides a closer look at where she was, the table side of Maddie. Okay. I'm just kind of going through to see. The flow patterns on Maddie Mogan's face are depicted in this image. There is little deviation in the directionality of these flow patterns, indicating there was little change in the posture of Miss Mogan after these flows were created. So still stabbing after someone's dead. I mean, I believe he did that. I mean, whether he knew it or not, which I mean, I don't know if he knew it or not, but whether he knew it or not, I do believe some of these kids were dead and he took a couple more swings. I'm kind of surprised he used a knife. Hey, Hoodies. Hey, Ember. Knowing how bad he was with one, you know? Like, I mean, his boss told on him, his ex-boss. Remember from the fish camp or whatever you want to call it? Wasn't even good with the customers. Couldn't even go out there just to collect trash and smile at people, he said. The easiest of jobs. Now, I can understand if you're an introvert. I'm an introvert. But I can go out and mingle with people and act like a human being, you know? Spatter stains associated with impact on the right side of the closet opening on the south wall are indicated by marker 6. So that would be on the left side of Maddie. And they have 2 pictures here. The location of a brown object in the vicinity of the lower left back and or thigh of Maddie Mogan is indicated by a yellow oval. This object was later identified as a brown knife sheath. The back of the knife sheath is exposed. The next picture, this knife sheath is indicated by placard 14. Spatter associated with an impact is noted on the sheet on which the brown knife sheath is found. Now, I have a question. I have to go look at the pictures. Well, is there pictures without the sheath there? Like when the sheath was removed? I can't remember. Because I want to know if there's a void there. Because I mean, personally, me, I think he went up there and he took the knife out, sat the sheath down, and then left it, walked out without it. Because he got surprised by having Kaylee there. That's my personal opinion. But I just would kind of like to see just that part of the bed if there was a void there, you know? So photographs included in the forensic biology report related to the laboratory analysis of the knife sheath provide closer images of the spatter stains associated with impact on the exposed surface back of the knife sheath. You know, if he maybe, okay, so say this is the top, like this is the front of the knife sheath and this is the buckle. And then this is like the back of it. He sat it, you know, like this. So like the buckle was exposed or whatever. Maybe if he would have sat it like this way, I don't know. Maybe it would have helped him. I don't think it would have, but I just can't believe that like the first thing you do is you lay down something that ties you to the murder weapon, like something that could tie you to the murder weapon. Like for being supposed to be supposedly, that's a big supposedly being smart. That was a dumbass move. I'll tell you that. Presumptive testing for the presence of blood in the stains on the back of the knife was positive. Subsequent DNA testing of the stains on the back of the knife sheath revealed a mixture of DNA. Kaylee Gonzalez matches the major profile of DNA. That's kind of surprising. I mean, you know, because it was beside Maddie. Maddie Mogan is a potential contributor to the minor component of DNA. The back of this knife sheath was exposed to spatter stains, which originated from the impact to Kaylee and Maddie. The front strap of the knife sheath was swabbed and tested as item 1.1 as indicated in the attached image. DNA from Brian Koberger was identified on the front strap of the knife sheath. I guess they're going to show us that. That's not a lot of blood. Like, look at the small spatter stains. You know? I mean, that kind of tells you, I don't know, like, that why there wasn't a whole lot of blood in the house. This is in the actual room where, you know, you killed 2 girls by stabbing them. You would think it would be drenched in blood. Maybe that's what I was trying to say. Like, it was covered, so it was like protected, maybe. Yeah, like maybe it was more protected. That's what I think I was trying to say, the opposite of what I said. By laying it on the bed, facing with the buckle facing down into the sheet, maybe that protected it somehow. Like, maybe if it was laying upward like this, it would have gotten like something, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. But, you know, they can always separate DNA, so they would have just separated it. They would have found them anyway. And this picture, I swear, doesn't even give this thing justice, because these knife sheaths are huge, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I've been to like a knife store. Actually, I have it on my YouTube channel from forever ago in California. We went, and they had a whole like slew of different K-bar knives, and we saw the one that this one that we were looking for. And we went and looked at it, and the knife sheath alone was like just a huge, like, I was like, how did he forget that? But if you're in a frenzy. So the 3rd level bedroom door, that's stain 48 on the opening edge of the door to Maddie Mogen's bedroom, is depicted in this image. It's down here. So it says it was pre-logged into ISPFS system as stain 4229, but the sample was then assigned the laboratory number 7730. I don't know. Did they not get the test? Did they not get the test back? Or here, maybe this is it. Okay, testing showed the sample originated from Kaylee Gonzalez. There we go. There is no physical evidence to indicate that either Miss Gonzalez or Miss Mogen created this transfer stain, because obviously they weren't upright walking around the room, you know. So then this cropped picture was taken by the Forensic Field Service team on November 17th, 2022, and shows a second area of swipe transfer stain on the opening edge of the bedroom door as indicated by marker X. It shows a mixture of DNA. Kaylee matches the major profile, and Maddie Mogen is a potential contributor to the minor component. There's no physical evidence to indicate that they had, created that swipe on the door. Obviously, because they told us earlier, after they sustained, their wounds, their initial wounds, they didn't move. Well, Kaylee, I think she had a couple more than just a few before she stopped moving. So then exterior 3rd level bedroom door. There's a pattern transfer. It's created when a pattern object, which was wet with liquid blood, made contact with the surface. Did he run into the door frame? Did the knife hit the door frame? Because it says marker 42, and that's in the image, depicts a pattern transfer stain near the hinge side of the exterior surface of the 3rd level bedroom door. A pattern transfer is created when a pattern object, which was wet with liquid, made contact with the surface. The appearance of the stain is consistent with diluted blood, creating this pattern transfer. Diluted blood is created when blood is mixed with another liquid. Oh, thanks, Kat. No, I still want to look more into that case. The sheath was found to the right, or I'm sorry, to the left of Maddie. I guess depending on how you look. If you're looking at her, it just depends. If you're looking at her right, like head on to the right of her, it was partially covered with the comforter, I believe. Okay. Well, I wish we could kind of see that picture because that's, the door. Oh, look. Well, they didn't show us the picture, but stairwell from third level to the switchback. So the stairway from the third level to the second level is depicted right here. There's a transfer stain, and that's stain 41, and it's indicated on the top of the banister. Stains N and O are indicated on the wall below the banister. Presumptive testing for blood was positive with stains N and O. So, N and O. N and O. Oh, thank you, Kat. That's so nice of you. Thank you for the $5. I appreciate that. Thank you. We might hit our goal today. Look at that. You guys are too kind. So then stain 41. So the stain up here on the, the actual banister is a transfer stain. And that's, created when objects that are wet with blood or liquid make contact with a handrail. So his glove probably, he's probably going down the stairs and he just grabbed onto the banister. So then we have transfer stains. I already told you that. Swiping motion is visible when the pattern transfer as depicted by the yellow arrow inserted into image. Stain 41 was positive for blood. DNA testing matched Madison Mogan. That's kind of weird. Everything else had Kaylee. You know what I mean? Kaylee, like, on it. A lot of her, like, blood. And now that, like, that's... So it must have been on his hand. And then he, grabbed the banister. Or maybe, like, I don't know. If it was me, maybe he was going down fast, going down the stairs fast. And grabbed onto it. Maybe he was chasing after Xana. I mean, that's a pretty big swipe there, bud. And then we have some more on the other side. So stains M and L are located on the inner side of the banister. They are transfer stains. And presumptive testing was positive. Like, to me, that almost looks like dirt. So then location of the stain K. So that's if you're walking around the banister, like from the top, you walk down this, I think it's like 7 stairs, and then you go down, you're going around the corner. And it was presumptive positive. It's a transfer stain. Maybe they're his clothes. He bumped into it. I mean, I think his pants rubbed against it or whatever he was wearing, and then he didn't even feel it because he's wearing, more than one layer of clothing. Personal opinion. Stain J, we got this one on the wall here. It's a transfer stain, and it's blood. And then that's, bedroom of Dylan. So then this picture here depicts the living room area of the residence. Within this area, there is a sofa, a television, and a beer pong table. A metal frame console table is partially visible against the wall opposite the sofa. A narrow path exits or exists between the metal console table and the beer pong table. 2 overturned red cups and a partially empty Bud Light Lime bottle is noted on the beer pong table along with a wooden handled knife. See how they're all knocked down over here? He probably hit that table. I don't know how we didn't knock these over. I think it's just the way that the table was. These cups might have still had more like liquid in them than these cups. Because, you know, yeah, I would say these people probably lost that game. If these cups are all still sitting here, these are all, unless they never played the game, because these cups are all sitting here in perfect row. Do you know what I mean? Like to play the game. There's not even like one cup missing, it doesn't look like. To where, you know, like you hit, if you know the game beer pong, like if you put the ball into the cup, they drink it. Whoever might have been on this side wasn't going to be drinking, they, you know, or on the other side. Depending on how many cups were sitting there, you know. How many is that? Like 12 or 16? I guess only 10. I think we played with more. Some of them were just presumptive positive for blood. They didn't say whose. Yeah, the wall lights were on. Yeah. They I read that in actually a police report and I was surprised. I was like, huh, those things were on. Because at first I thought maybe the officers brought them like to hang on the wall. Like they look kind of like a POC lights, like really cool POC lights. But they were actually like lights. I think that were, you know, wired into the house. So then this next picture is going to depict the overall location of two separate stain areas on the beer pong table. Okay. And stain 39 demonstrates the appearance of diluted blood stain, but it was positive for blood. And it was revealed the DNA of Kaylee on item 76. Does it say here? No, it doesn't. The presence of an overturned cup in the vicinity of stain 39 is a potential source of the dilution if the cup in fact contained a source of liquid. It is unclear if this cup contained a liquid at some time or if it was part of the setup for beer pong game. Spatter stain F is on the edge of the west side of the table. It is depicted by the orange arrow and is shown in greater detail in this other picture. Presumptive testing for the stain F for blood was positive, and DNA from this stain was not identified. So I think that means like they didn't even put it through. I don't know why we weren't identifying these. I guess maybe it wasn't none of the victims. But it's like, whose was it? But I guess, I mean, people can have nosebleeds. People can have like, you know, cuts on their hand. Things happen at parties. But like, I don't know. It would have been cool if someone would have stepped forward and been like, that was mine. I went to a party there. The extremely elongated shape of stain F is attributable to an acute angle of the incident between the source object and the side of the beer pong table. So right here, and they're stain 39. My arm, sorry. Okay, while we're looking through all these, everybody doing good? Are we doing good out there? Thank you guys for being here today. I appreciate it. So this image is going to depicts the view looking across the beer pong table towards the bedroom assigned to Xana. So like looking down that hallway. Across from the beer pong table is the metal console table referenced earlier. On the right side of this image, one can see a half wall with a wooden ledge and the stairs leading from the second level down to the first level parking lot entrance on the north side of the residence. Near the middle of the frame, the hallway leading from the living room to the bedroom of Xana Knodel is depicted. So the stains here that were on the other side of the banister, it is located, you see where it's located. It was tested, presumptive presence was positive. So it was it's a transfer blood stain. So it was a mixture of DNA, Ethan Chapin being the primary contributor. No physical evidence to indicate Ethan was ever outside of the room after sustaining his bloodletting injuries. So, I mean, I'm just saying, okay? Let's say you're hauling ass. I guess you wouldn't be hauling ass to go that way, though. But you could. Okay, let's say this way. Let's say Koberger, when he was going to the, I swear, I feel like he was going back to that third floor when Dylan saw him to go get his knife sheath. I feel like he knew he forgot it. I feel like after killing Xana, his first thought would be to put his knife back in the sheath, right? Or you're just gonna walk out with the knife. I you know what I mean? I don't see that. Like, I don't see him like. I think that's probably why in Xana's room or somewhere he picked up something before Dylan saw him and put that knife into a container, a cylinder, whatever it was. But he could have went out the front door and held onto that banister. I'm just saying. I've been saying that he went out the front door for a while, or came in. I don't know. So that's kind of surprising that he was the main contributor too. There, you would think it might have been Xana. That's a pretty big stain. They really looked at every surface of that house, you know? And it wasn't that's not a small task to look at every single, you know what I mean? Like piece of a wall and like just to look for anything. So then we have stain E on the top of the wooden ledge. It's on top right here. Okay, so the coloration and the edge characteristics of stain E show concentration around the outer periphery indicative of a diluted stain. Stain E was not further tested. I don't know why. Tested further. That's kind of... Wish I could see it more, but... Oh, there we go. Why aren't we just being proactive and testing stuff? Like, why aren't we just doing it? Yeah, the vacuum. Yeah, Ember. I'm thinking he found something on her desk, maybe beside. If he did sit down, let's say he sat down. I don't know if he really did. But if he did, like the Dateline episode or whatever it was, it said that he did. If he really did sit down for a minute, maybe that's when he realized that he didn't have the sheets. And then he grabbed something in Xana's room, you know, to put it in. That's the only thing I could think of. Because you don't want to walk outside with your knife just all willy-nilly. I mean, I guess you could put it in your back pocket until you get to your car. Or, I mean, I guess he probably did. I don't know. But he didn't have it in the sheath. Or he took something from the house. And the parents may have not, I mean, you know, parents don't know everything that you own. So, especially like in Xana's case, it would have just been her father that's been to her, you know, house. And I think that was only like a couple times. So he wouldn't know every single thing that she owns, you know. I was thinking it could be some sort of like jewelry box or like because it was like a cylinder, they were saying, like, you know, they make them circle, like, even those circle like gift boxes. Like, could it be like a gift box from a birthday or I don't know what it could be. Because their vacuum and stuff was in the closet in that hallway before you got to the kitchen. So I don't, you know what I mean? I don't see it being part of a vacuum. And so these are all staining as well. Stains 23, 24, 27 were presumptive presence of blood and were positive. So like these ones are going to like test and everything, but the other ones, no, not so much. So Kaylee matches the major component and Maddie is the potential contributor. That's all the way downstairs too, like on the wall. How did he get that all the way over there if he didn't go down them stairs? I'm telling y'all. I mean, maybe. Like, how is he going to do that? And welcome in, everybody. Hey, Espresso. Oh, good afternoon. I bet it's beautiful there. I've seen some pictures. Actually, it's pretty. It's really pretty there. Unfortunately, we saw him, with Brian Koberger in the forefront, but we did see some. And if I lived out there, I would be like taking all kinds of pictures. So then stain 26 on the half wall at the end of the beer pong table, presumptive positive. It appears that it was diluted by another liquid. But it was on the beer pong table, wasn't it? And they said at the end of the bit. So it could have been from one of the cups. It was Kaylee's as the major and then Maddie as the potential contributor. And they didn't go down there after they were injured. I wonder if you're walking really fast or like running, if blood could come off of you. Like, I guess it could if you're doing this with the knife, but it doesn't really look like that. It's like, I would feel like if you're going with the knife, it would be like this way. You know what I mean? Like the blood patterns would be more this way. Like as if she's running and he's going after her. These patterns look weird. Almost looks like the knife was just sitting there, just dripping. Like if he was walking fast, though, that could be it. So it says released of a result of a bloodied object in motion. And it was diluted. And it says there's no physical evidence to indicate Miss Gonzalez, Miss Mogan, Miss Cornetto, or Mr. Chapin were in this location after sustaining their bloodletting injuries. It doesn't say who it was. $47.04 is this picture. Okay. So these are stains going to be the hallway leading to Xana's bedroom. Stains identified on the baseboards in the hallway between the living room and the bedroom. On the left side of the hallway, G and H. On the right side of the hallway is stain I. Stain G is depicted in closer detail. Okay. They were presumptive presence, positive. They were positive for blood. And it just says there's no evidence to indicate that none of them were there. So I don't know what that means. Did they not test it? Or did they and they just failed to tell us? I mean, it's a lot of different, you know what I mean? It's a lot of different spots. And what side of this was this one? Did they say? On the left side of the hallway. But it was when he was walking out. Because it would have been in the right hand, as probably right-handed. I mean, I know he's right-handed, but the knife was probably in his right hand. Thanks, Victor. I appreciate that. Yeah. Hey, PKC. Hey, Bruce. Welcome in, everybody. If you guys don't mind, will you take a second and hit the like button? We have 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on our goal as well. Okay, so this is the one we just went over. Then we've got stain 38, and it is near the bathroom doorway. It's pretty high up. Maybe he rubbed his elbow on the wall. I don't know. It's a swipe stain, so it's presumptive blood for positive, but I don't think it says whose it is. So the next picture shows an overview of the bedroom assigned to Xana. They're not going to show us the picture. I hope no. Okay. Miss Kernodle is laying on the bedroom floor. She is wearing a pair of underwear, a long sleeve shirt, and is barefoot. Ethan is laying in the bed, partially covered with a blue blanket and a pink comforter. He could be seen to be wearing a pair of white socks. So this cropped image shows the blood on the bottoms of Xana's feet. This observation indicates that Xana Kernodle was moving about and stepping onto liquid blood after bloodletting injuries had occurred. So unlike everyone else, she was upright. Although there is no physical evidence to support Miss Kernodle was moving about within her bedroom, there is no physical evidence to indicate that she ever moved beyond those rooms once the bloodletting, she was bleeding heavily. The bottoms and tops of Ethan Chapin's socks are depicted here. No blood is visible in either the bottoms or tops of his socks. This observation supports that he was not moving about and dripping blood or stepping into blood after liquid blood was shed. A projected pattern is visible on the bedroom wall in the vicinity of the head of Ethan Chapin. Mr. Chapin's head is between the edge of the mattress and the wall. This projected pattern is more readily visible in this other image. Damage to an artery can lead to production of an arterial projected pattern. According to the autopsy report related to this post-mortem examination of Ethan, he suffered injuries to his left subclavian vein and artery. You remember seeing the picture for the first time of the house with the blood coming out of it? I ain't never seen nothing like that in my whole life. And I've been watching true crime since I was a little girl. My dad had that crap on. I was born in the 80s. We did not, there was no chill. You know what I mean? There was no don't watch this. It was just like, OJ was on. He recorded that. Nancy Grace was always on, cussing someone out, yelling about. That's just what I grew up with. I've never seen a case like this one where the house was actually bleeding. So this other image shows the overview of the positioning of Ethan and in the relation to the projected arterial pattern on the wall. A swipe stain is located on his left side. Transfer stains are located on his the left chest, left shoulder, and left upper arm. Top and bottom surfaces of his left upper wrist. Why? And then, the stains are on the blue blanket and the sheet under along his right side. Now, I wonder if Kohberger knew that Ethan was in that bedroom, right? Until he was in there. I think that he was fully in the room before he saw Ethan. Because if that door's open, doesn't her door open this way? It would cover the bed. Kind of. Do you know what I mean? You'd have to kind of walk into the room before you would see anybody else in there. I'm just curious if, he surprised him too. If Ethan was a surprise too, but not as big of a surprise. Apparently he kept his cool enough to stab him to death and, while he was just sleeping, it seems like. So. And this is just talking about where the blood was coming from. I don't want to talk too much about that because I'm probably already going to be in the yellow. It says, these observations indicate that Ethan Chapin was on his right elbow. Okay. So he must have been maybe like waking up when his left subclavian artery was injured. This positioning created a void at his right armpit as blood began to flow to emanate from the wound. Blood flows towards his right neck and down his upper right arm, resulting in the void in the folded right antecubital fossa. As he falls towards his right, the flow patterns change directionality accordingly, and directional patterns from the injured subclavian artery strike his face. Flow pattern across his face, they're talking about. No expression of blood is visible at the nostrils. Voided areas are visible on the wall beside the bed after the body of Ethan Chapin was moved. These voids were created due to Mr. Chapin's head and hair shielding the wall from projected arterial blood originating from his injured left subclavian artery. His head was down near the wall while the arterial pattern on the wall was created. Yeah, like, because remember his head was like in between the wall and the bed. An incision is located at the lateral right leg, slightly above the knee. For what? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like some of these wounds are like, what? What for what? Like, for, like, I don't know. Spatter stains are located at the top of the knee. A second injury below this incision is visible when the leg was rolled medially. So weird. Is there an artery there? I would think she'd be yelling, Felicity, but she might not have been. She might have been just keeping, like, hey, cursed Diamond. Like, I've never ran for my life, so I don't know if I could scream or if I would be conserving my energy and just getting there. Do you know what I mean? Just trying to get there. But I would think I'd be yelling. I think I would yell. I think that maybe he was waking up. Yeah, Felicity. And that's why, because I was wondering about the 2 wounds to his chest too. If he was like sleeping and he was like, maybe on his side. So that would make, there would be a reason why those would be there. If he was like sitting up on his elbow, I sit up on my right elbow so much that my elbow is like looking funky. Like, I'm not even kidding you. I'm always leaning on my right elbow. So yeah, he could have been like waking up. Like, what's going on? Like, because I said this yesterday, I don't believe for 1 second if Ethan woke up that he thought that he was waking up to hell happening around him. Actual literal hell. I don't think that he thought that. I think if anything, he thought Xana got food and she wants to know if I want any of it or something. Do you know what I mean? I think it was all just innocent thoughts when he was waking up. And maybe he was not as asleep as, we kind of think because he took so much Adderall too. But there are people that can go to sleep on Adderall. There are. Let's see where these are all like. So this image depicts the incision of the upper left leg of Ethan. A small amount of saturation staining. Okay. Xander Coronado was discovered lying on the floor of her bedroom as depicted in an image. Above the location of her head, a white nightstand is at an angle to the bed. A white shelving unit with dark gray drawers is against the wall between the bed and the closet. On the wall opposite the bed is a white desk. A white fox fur chair is between the closet and the desk. Okay, so talking about the transfer stains on her. The white nightstand depicted in the image shows transfers and wipes on the side closest to the bed and on the top surface. Did he wipe his knife on that? Why would you wipe it on the nightstand? The front edge of the nightstand has been moved away from the bed in order to make room for a bloody object that created the transfers on the side of the nightstand and to allow room for the drip stains noted on the floor. The shape and edge of the next one, like this next one, it's a succession pattern. It says the shape and edge characteristics of this pattern indicate that a bloodied object struck the wall in this location. I wonder if that was like Xana hitting the wall, Koberger hitting the wall. Hey, Coco. Okay. Oh, and then this one is depicts an apparent defect in the bed sheet. Oh, I forgot to put the link for the panel in the chat. And if anyone wants to become a member, I think I linked it at the top, but maybe I didn't. I don't think I pinned it. Yeah, I did. Maybe I did. I don't know. There it is. If I didn't, I'll pin it now. Okay. And thank you guys all for being here on a little Sunday. Hey, Michelle. Welcome in, everyone. And I promise you that these documents, like there are things in here that we don't really know. And we just got to get to them because there's a lot in each document. There's 14 different releases. This one document had 155 pages. So, but we're on page 81. We're getting there. So this depicts the area surrounding the white shelving unit along the west wall of the bedroom. It just talks about the blood spatter that was on there. Okay, so then there's more located on the wall right to the next to the opening of the closet. If you don't know, when you walked into Xana's room to the right, there was like a little doorway, and that was like her closet. And then it says, I don't know why it says this, but the appearance of spatters is consistent with diluted blood. The mouth and nose injuries of Xana Kernodle, as noted in the autopsy report, are potential sources of diluted blood. So it could have been from her. It says these pattern stains originated from an impact to a source of exposed blood located approximately 3 feet and 7 inches above the floor, as indicated in the scale. Transfer stains are noted, so he could have sat his ass on that, are noted on the white fox fur chair, and it's depicted in this image. This chair is located adjacent to the head of Xana Kernodle. There are additional transfer stains on the uppermost portion of the leg of the desk depicted in the image and indicated by marker 35. And it was Xana Kernodle's blood. Maybe he was like, I need to take a seat just in case there's more people. I don't know why he would take a seat. I mean, that's just, yeah, little Jodi Arias. Well, Jodi Arias, she got caught because she put her camera in the washer. Like, why didn't she just destroy that? Criminals are dumb, and that's why we love them. If you're going to do a crime, I swear criminals are the dumbest. They really are. Okay. So then there's some swipe stains are located on the trash can underneath the desk. and it was Xana Kernodle's. Was he like wiping his knife off? Upper portion of Xana Kernodle's bedroom door. Bloodstains cast off. There was bloodstains that, were diluted by another liquid, which could be the mouth or nose injuries of Xana. Still, this is the lower portion of the door. It's Xana's blood. Once Xana Kernodle was actively bleeding, there is no physical evidence that she ever east of this location. I think that meant left. I don't know. The location of these drip stains near the opening edge of the bedroom door represent the furthermost location of undiluted blood. So she never left that location. She get up and make it to the bedroom door, I wonder? And did he pull her back in? Because that was her straight blood. That wasn't like her diluted blood. You know what I mean? So that could have been, or when she was running in, I guess. Conclusions: there's no physical evidence that any of the decedents were outside of their respective bedrooms after sustaining significant bloodletting injuries. The only decedent to move from the bed and or be standing upright after actively bleeding was Xana Kernodle. Someone other than the decedents had a source of blood on their person or in their possession and is responsible for the creation of the bloodstains in the following locations: Maddie's bedroom door, the stairway leading from the third to the second level, stairway leading from the second to the first level, diluted stain on the top of the beer pong table, the half wall near the end of the beer pong table, and the wooden ledge of the half wall on the second level. Hey, Ladybug. The presence of diluted bloodstains outside of the respective bedrooms indicate that the person responsible for the creation of these bloodstains also caused their dilution. The cast-off bloodstains on the half wall of the end of the beer pong table and in the stairwell between the second and first floor indicate that the source of the diluted blood was in motion. So they were walking. Okay. The presence of diluted blood from Kaylee and Maddie in the cast-off bloodstains on the half wall at the end of the beer pong table and in the stairwell opening. It just says that they were already been injured and the source of their blood had been mixed with another liquid before these cast-offs were created. Okay. There is no significant basis to predict the necessary occurrence of secondary footwear transfer stains due to overall lack of visible footwear patterns in the entire crime scene. There's no physical evidence to indicate that a significant amount of time elapsed during the commission of this violent activity. There is no physical evidence to exclude a single perpetrator causing the death of these four individuals. And then it says these findings are based upon the materials provided to date. Submission of additional materials could alter these conclusions. And this was back from, I forget. Oh, no, I forget. It came, I think it was 3/3/26, but I want to say 3/3/24. I'll have to double check for you guys. Maybe that's when they put it out. Three 3/26. That must have been when they were done redacting it. How long have we been on? Okay. I'm going to see how long this is. What is this? Responses to rebuttal items and report by Matt Nodell, noted January 2025. I'm just going to see how long this one is. No doubt. It's like a report. What the heck was that? That was my dog. Oh, now I don't know page we're on, but that's okay. Okay, maybe I'll come back on and read these. Like it looks like I went up too high. About to go back to the report issued on January 22nd, 2025. So I can I might read that first and then come back on. Oh my goodness. January, what was it? 22nd? Yeah. Oh, there was a lot of stuff that came up that day. Sometimes it's not the same date though. Do you know what I mean? It'll be the day before, day after. So I guess we could read for a minute. Let me see. I just reading them all together. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to do that to you guys where it's I'm like, oh, I'm going to stop. Because I think this is going to be a little while. This might be the last of the report. Wait, no, there's one right here. Ooh, this is the one we want to read. Oh yeah, this is going to be fun. Okay, so I'll leave you with that. I'll leave you with this. So Turby and apparently Sutton are going to go back and forth about things that, we're done. We're said. And they're going to be like, this is our rebuttal to that. This would be good. Because if you guys don't know, Turby is one of the guys that was writing the book with the one guy or whatever. Wasn't he writing the book? Maybe he wasn't writing the book, but he was all up in that stuff. He came out as that expert witness, and then Ann Taylor was like, "Oh no, you don't," and she got mad. Thank you, PKC. Thank you for taking the time. Oh, let me see it over here. Thank you for taking the time to read through these so we don't have to. You're welcome. You're welcome. Hey, Carl, thank you for coming in and hitting that like button. You're so good at that. So it says here, Turvey comments on lack of blood detected in Koberger's vehicle. Because we've heard about this, right? So despite an extensive and exhaustive forensic examination of the defendant's vehicle for bloody clothing, blood transfer, and other evidence related to these crimes down to the metal, none was found. This has essentially excluded the defendant's vehicle as being related to the commission of these crimes. The failure to be absolutely clear and forthcoming about this evident fact would be evidence of bias. And then Sutton comments. The failure to detect blood in the defendant's vehicle does not exclude the vehicle from being related to the commission of these crimes. For reasons previously discussed at Nodell rebuttal, and that was the one we'll read that too, there can be a myriad of reasons blood was not transferred to or detected in the defendant's vehicle. These findings need to be understood in the context of all available information. I like that. And then this, he's got a rebuttal for all of it. That will be a good live. Maybe we should do, we'll do that tonight. Because, or maybe tomorrow. It's already 4:30. Damn, it's already 4:30. Y'all have me on here late. I'm just kidding. It's only been like an hour and a half. Let's see. I got 13 minutes. So, okay. Yeah. We will, I don't know. I think what we'll do is I'll read through this part here and give you guys the overview of it. I'll give you guys the meat and potatoes of it, right? As you know, someone would say. And then that way, or maybe I will, maybe we will read it. I'll go through it and see what it says. If it's like kind of boring and scientific-y, like I can always just give you, the bare bones of it. And then we can move on to the Brent Turvey one. Cause I think that interview, that would be pretty good. I would like to hear them go back and forth. So that would be interesting. If anyone has any questions though, let me know. If anyone wants to come up and say anything, let me know. If anyone has a difference of an opinion than me, they want to come up and they want to tell me why, let me know. I put in the StreamYard, I think too. Right. Not finding the evidence does not mean he's innocent. It's good to see you two bad actors. I'll come in. I might come back one later. You never know. I don't know if Vincent's working or not. Yeah, Michelle. Yeah, they're in close proximity. So yeah, their DNA would be on each other and on the knife, and Kaylee's and Maddie's. I wonder. I wonder why this case, for some reason, like it's this case that a lot of people are, not a lot of people. There's not a lot. They're only on the internet and they're not in real life. But they think Brian's innocent. Like there's some ride or dies for him, and the thing is, he didn't ask for it, right? Like he hasn't asked anybody to reach out to the Innocence Project. No one's reached out to the Innocence Project, as far as I know. Any of the creators that anybody watches in here, has any of the creators contacted local legislation in Idaho, the governor, the Innocence Project, Brian Koberger himself? Because he's never even asked for anything. He's never asked for anybody to help him. People will help him. People are trying, but he's never asked for it. He's never said he was innocent. Not one time. Not even a little bit. Other than when he said, I was driving around. Because Ann Taylor probably kept nagging him. You got to give me an alibi. And he was, well, I was just driving around then. I don't know. Me too, Heather. Me too. I think that too. I've always thought that. Yeah. And there's the picture of her bed where it's turned down. You can see through the window if you zoom in. I zoomed in. You can see the bed's turned down, and to me it looks like she got out of bed. Like she had just gotten out of bed. Like she looked like a bed maker in the morning. You know what I mean? Like it was easy for her to make her bed. He's never said he was innocent. When? Where has he ever said he was innocent? When? Where? Coco, no, he's never said it. He's never said it. Even when he was asked, he sat silent. Okay. You're supposed to stand silent. He wouldn't even talk. He wouldn't even say that he was standing silent. He made Ann Taylor do it. He's never said he was innocent. He's never, ever said it. I've covered this case since November 16th or 14th. No, November 14th, 2022. It might have been the 16th was the first press conference. So it was the 13th or the 14th, one of those 14th, I think it was. So I've been covering this for a long time, and he's never said he was innocent. I promise you. His right, PKC, right? His family hasn't even proclaimed his innocence. They never even pleaded for help. They never come out and said, my son is innocent. Oh my goodness, please help him. Even when Peacock offered him $1 million when they offered Asa Ellerup $1 million. Asa said, I'll sell my soul for $1 million. Yeah, sure will. But his parents didn't. He actually said guilty 5 times. Felicity, because 1 count of burglary. Can't forget that. Can't forget that burglary. Like he didn't even try to get that worked off his punishment. No appeals, no nothing. He doesn't get nothing. He's never going to be out. Like, people think, like, I don't know what they think. Do they think he's going to walk out of jail and do like the Rocky thing? And people are going to be there. I'm genuinely like curious. I really am curious. What do people think is going to happen? Like, Peru's already got a seat for him in his cell. He's already got a spot for him set up. Probably like, a little station with Brian's pictures. No, it's not. It's not the same. It's not the same. You say not guilty is different than standing silent. You want to? Okay. Wonder why people stand silent. Probably because they don't want to talk about anything. Okay. Pleading not guilty actively denies the charges, whereas standing silent is a constitutional tactic meant to preserve certain legal challenges or avoid the explicit act of entering a plea. So to stand silent is kind of like, I'm not going to say nothing. I don't know. That's how I take it. And he didn't stand. He sat down. He made Ann stand. His lap is reserved for Brian Ozzy. It is. Ozzy comes in at the right moments. His hyper, I can't even say that, bristophilia, but I know you're talking about YouTube actor. Yeah, that's what. It goes back as far as Ted Bundy, right? I remember talking about Ted Bundy to my mom. Like, we were talking one day about it, and she was like, that was when she was young, and when that happened, and she said, I remember the girls thought that he was like really attractive. Like, they thought that he was like charismatic. And she's like, but he was like this killer, but he had this charisma to him, like in the courtroom and stuff and all that. I don't think Brian really had that. I knew that he was guilty for some. This was what sealed my fate. And I'm sorry to say, it might be something like petty, but like, if you're innocent, you're going to be shaken a little bit. He sat there that one time with his hands like this, and I can't even sit here regularly without my hands shaking. And he was so like, just not like, I don't know, it just didn't faze him for me. And I was just like, you son of a gun. You son of a gun. I wish he would have, made a statement why you committed the crimes, how you did it. I mean, I would want, if I was like, why didn't they ask everything? He didn't move. No, not at all. Not even like weird shifts. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, I'd be all over the place. Because I'd be off my meds too. You know what I mean? Like, for him having autism, I know autism's in all different colors and shapes and sizes. I have it. I know it is. But like, I wish I had his kind of autism then, where you can just sit still, because I could never. Even like right now, I can't sit still. I'm always all over the place in this chair. Yeah, a shell of a person he really is. I feel bad for his family. You know what I mean? Like, his sisters lost their jobs. They had to go. They're trying to get new jobs now. I'm sure if they haven't gotten them yet. I'd want to change my name. Personally, I wouldn't want the last name Koberger. I would be like, Mom, Dad, I'm sorry. Call me, Ashley Smith from now on, because that's what I'm going to be. You saw how much his one sister changed up. She really changed her appearance. And I'm sorry, but that to me has to do with this stuff, that stuff that happened to her. You don't go from like brown hair norm. That would be like me sitting here one day like this, and then tomorrow coming back and I've got bright blue hair and it's spiked and it's like, I'm wearing these. I don't know. I hope she's in therapy and stuff. And I'm not saying people who dress like that need therapy, not that at all. Because I think that people dressed like that are usually awesome. But like, with her, I think that it was such a big change when, you know what I mean? It was like, what the hell happened? Like, to me, it was, I'm just like, because she was like, and wasn't she like the mental health field and stuff too? I don't know. And you can be with like that. Like my counselor has tattoos and everything, and she has like crazy hair, but like, and I love her for that. But I don't know. She just changed so much. It was almost like she wanted to disguise herself, but then she came out and talked. So now everyone knows what she looks like. But for a moment, she probably wasn't being seen like as Brian's sister. I mean, that's what I wouldn't want to be known as Brian's sister right now. Not ever. Triangle hands is a power move. It's taught in some criminal investigation tactics as a way to maintain power in a room. If I ever knew that. But I could see that. Huh. Yeah, when he did that, it really got to me. I was like, that's some bitch. He ain't got no, like he ain't got no like shaking, nothing. I'm looking at there and I'm like, nothing? Nothing at all. I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised the families were as good as they were with being in court with him. I wouldn't, I don't think my family would have been as cool if like my dad was like Steve Gonzalez, but like on steroids. Like, you know what I mean? He would have been falling apart one minute and wanting to kill someone the next minute. That was my daddy. The university wanted it to go away and be over with it. Yeah, with little info as possible. Yeah, they just kind of wanted to see ya. And it's like the thing is, it's not going away. It's just not. And I don't know when it will. Even once we get through the documents, right? People are now like going back to the beginning of the case, and I heard someone say, like, let's watch this video and see if we can solve this. Solve what? Like, so it makes me wonder, do these people not realize that Brian Koberger has been convicted? I hope they know. I hope they know. I mean, they're Brian fans when they're coming and spelling his name wrong. I'm like, you haven't even been looking at nothing. Oh, Alfred Plea. I don't think he got one, did he? I don't think they didn't really say. But he did give up his appeals. He's going to be in there for the rest of his life with Peru and whoever. He might as well start talking to Peru and get to know him. I wonder who he's talking to. I want to know. And they won't give us the jail calls or anything like that because of privacy. Forget that. Oh, what about, the privacy of the victims? What about the privacy of the families? What about the privacy of these family members? These creators are going after the Gonzalez's like it's no one's business. It's okay for them to do that. That's okay. But we don't get to hear what Brian Koberger's talking to Mother about. To be a fly on that wall, man, I'd pay good money. I would pay good money. I'd pay good money to be able to listen to those jail calls. I would pay for those jail calls. I would figure it out. And when they do come out, they're probably going to be thousands of dollars. Can you imagine? Because the documents were going to be 20,000 at first. And I got that email. So I know that was true. I thought people were lying when they said that when the documents, like when everything got finished with Brian, and he went to jail, prison, like when creators were saying $20,000 for these documents, I was like, are they trying to like mess with their communities? Because I was like, there is no way these documents are 20 grand. I've done FOIAs before. Some are expensive, but I've never heard of $20,000. And they wrote me an email back. I think I showed it to you guys, and it was like, yeah, $20,000. I'm like, I'll wait till they come out then. $20,000. I wonder how much the rest of them would be now. Like if you were to contact Moscow and be like, what do you have? Can I get it? I should try that. Yeah, Idaho calls not available to bugs. Well, technically, we should say he's not from Idaho. Technically, they should be under PA laws or Washington laws, whichever ones lets us have the calls. So then we got to get in with Brian Koberger to ask him, what do you talk to Mother about? I don't think he'd write me back. Maybe if I was nice. I already know TNT probably tried that, So we'll see if she gets a response. I'm just kidding. Oh, and we were going through Maddie's room, and then I forgot to play the video. So let me play it before we jump off. Let me see. Stop sharing the screen. Let me put Asget's video link in here. She's the best. I've been saying this for years. I know I've been saying it. Y'all are going to be like, this bitch has been saying this for years. Okay, I've been saying this for years, but I would love to learn how to do different like animations like she does. I like the way that she does them. But I know, like, I can only imagine that's like really hard to learn. You know what I mean? But it would be really cool to know, because who doesn't like a visual, right? When it comes to like a crime where it's like this and it's not like an actual like dead body. I'd much rather see this and see what happened than see the girls laying in bed in a pool of blood. That's just my personal opinion. So we'll play this, and I'll put her link in the chat. Go check her out. She does different cases. She's done the Idaho 4 since it pretty much started, and she's done like the other cases as well. If you go on her TikTok, you'll be able to see like her Alec Murdoch and stuff. Because I don't think it's on her Facebook, but I do have it on my page.
Released, we have a better idea of what happened to the Idaho 4 college students in Moscow the night that Brian Koberger unalived them. With all that new evidence, I made a new illustration to show what investigators believed happened, and this first recreation will focus on Kaylee and Maddie in Maddie's room. This is Maddie's room, and everything you see here has been recreated according to the photographs and police documentation. Here we can see how Maddie and Kaylee were positioned, along with both blankets and the 2 pillows. We can also see the splatters on the walls, which indicates the direction that splatters came from. Let's look at how the splatters tell us this information. Here's an example of splatters hitting a floor from a single impact. To find the direction of where it came from, you would draw a line through the tail and the center of the droplet, as illustrated here. The tail is like an arrow pointing in the direction of where it came from, so the source where it came from would be in the opposite direction. Now we'll measure the droplet, which will tell us what angle the droplet hit the surface at. This is simple math that can be done with a calculator, and I'll show you how. You take the width of 4 millimeters in this case and divide it by the length of 6.8 millimeters. Notice how we exclude the tail and round it off to get the length measurement. Now let's do the calculator work. We enter the width first, 4 millimeters, divided by the length, 6.8 millimeters, and this equals 0.588 in infinity. Now go to the trig function shown here on this calculator and select the second key. This will inverse the sine key, and once you press it, you will have the simple results of the angle that the splatter came from. In this example, it's 36 degrees. Now we'll go back and do that for each droplet. When done with that, we draw our directional line through the center of each droplet. Where all the lines come together is what is called the area of convergence. The last step now is to project our angles off of the center of the droplets, running parallel to its line. Straight up from the area of conversion, where all these angles cross, this is the location of where the splatters came from. I used this method from the forensic photos and came up with this illustration with blue laser lights shown here. Adding a marker at each location where these lines intersect tell us where the area of violence took place, and this helps us in recreating the event. Other observations that help us are visual clues, like how the condition of the blankets were left. Let's focus on this area on the blanket here.
That's what I was talking about last night. I wanted to see it, like that part of the blanket, to see if there is that void. I didn't see that when I was like, when I saw the pictures, we didn't show them on the channel. Obviously I didn't, but they're out there. You know what I mean? Some people did.
Brian Koberger's attack on Maddie and Kaylee, his knee bunched up the blankets in this area. As he backed off the bed, it left an impression that was clean of any blood splatter. In this crime scene photo, you can see how his knees bunched up the blanket and creased the fabric. It remained that way untouched until police arrived some 7 hours later.
Well, hold on. Hold on a second. Oops, I didn't mean to go back that far. Okay. I swear to you, just hear me out for 1 second. This could be her blanket. Okay, so I have a blanket like this. It has like these button things on it, which I think she's probably correct. It probably is his knee. But the buttons, when I put it in the dryer, like it shrunk around the buttons. So that's what that looks like to me. Like the blanket needs just pulled. Like it's bunched up from the dryer. But that's just me. It's probably his knee. But that's what I thought when I saw it. Right there, but I don't see anywhere else where there would be buttons or anything on the bed. But like right there, above the black box.
It remained that way untouched until police arrived some 7 hours later. As we inspect the other side of this area, we can see where the knife sheath was left. Here's a photograph of that knife sheath. The length of it was 13 inches long, and the tip was slightly under Maddie's left thigh and hip region.
Longer than a ruler. Told you it was big.
Moving on to the white blanket. This item tells us a lot.
Crazy that he didn't know.
In observing the blood spatter, we can see that it's only coming from one direction, which is from the head of the bed to the foot of the bed. In addition to this, we can see that there was no blood spatter underneath the blanket. This and the lack of blood splatter, where Brian Koberger's legs were, tell us that these two blankets were here the entire time. One last point on this. When you remove the blanket and you see the sheet, the lower half of the sheet has no blood splatter on it, and that's because the blanket protected it from blood splatter. This basic evidence review helped investigators to determine that Kaylee was in bed sleeping with Maddie at the time of the attack. Now I'm going to play this animation for you for what's believed to have happened. This is a very mild animation, but if you're sensitive to depictions of crime, you may want to skip this part. This is how Kaylee and Maddie were found. But just 1 minute before this moment, they were simply sleeping, and Koberger was standing over them. He formed a plan in his head knowing he would have to act fast to attack them both at the same time. And that's what he did. Here's how this is believed to have played out. Now I stopped the animation here because this is the moment Xana came upstairs and interrupted the attack. I'll pick up from there in my next video, where we will go over all that, including the recreation of what happened to Xana and Ethan. It'll also include more details on the time frame and where DNA was found throughout the house. If you like my work, please follow.
We could go ahead and, I think that's the one like right next to this one. So we could watch it. Let me get this too.
Hi everyone.
She got her hair cut in this one. Make sure you go and follow her. Like, she's good. She's really good. If you don't follow her as of now. And if you didn't know, I'd like to tell this story because it's craziness. There was another person on this platform that stole her work because she was on TikTok. So Asget was on TikTok. That's how I found her. But this person put, like, she had a watermark on her videos, and this person put their watermark over top of her video, like over top of hers, and claimed it was their video. It was bad. It was bad news.
This is part 2 of the Brian Koberger case, running to Xana's room. Before we begin, I wanted to thank everyone for their patience. I know it's been a while since part 1, but some personal circumstances made it important for me to take a step back for a moment. Everything's good now, so let's continue on. In part 1, we talked about the spatter evidence and how it lined up with Maddie and Kaylee's location and position. We also showed how Brian Koberger attacked them from the edge of the bed, leaving an impression in the blanket by his knee. And there were other things, like the location of the knife sheath and how the blood spatter calculations were done. Now
So this is kind of like what I just read, but it's giving you the visual.
Now we're going to explore the timing and the evidence in between Maddie and Xana's room. What I'll do is play the illustration with little interruption, which will show where everyone was, and then we'll explain more. Brian is about to start his attack, and the time is 4:16 a.m. It's believed seconds ago he opened Kaylee's door to her room and saw no one there, but he left the door open. This allowed Murphy to come out and see what was going on. When Cobra starts attacking Kaylee and Maddie in Maddie's room, Murphy starts barking. The barking was caught on audio by the neighbor's security camera. It recorded a number of barks, which helps in telling us where Murphy was at the time. The sounds of barking grabs Xana's attention, and she comes out of her room to see what's going on. It also starts waking up Dylan. While in the hallway, Xana hears commotion going on up in Maddie's room, and goes upstairs to check it out. When getting there, she sees a stranger and yells someone's in the house and runs downstairs. Brian panics and chases after Xana, but he's unfamiliar with the step up to the living room. So he trips and flings his arms to catch his balance. This knocks over the cups, further waking up Beth downstairs with all the commotion. As we were going through the scene, you would have noticed a bunch of red dots placed in different locations. These were markers left by the investigators. The scene here is where Xana sees Cobra in Maddie's room. As he chases after her, he bumps the door with his left arm.
See, like that's where those stain patterns were. And they said it wasn't made by Kaylee or Maddie because after they sustained their bloodletting injuries, remember, they said that they were not on their feet.
This left behind a transfer stain that matches with Kaylee and Maddie. Continuing as we go downstairs, you'll see some more markers. Cobra's hand touches the rail as he runs down the stairs, leaving behind transfer stains, one resulting in DNA match with Maddie. Moving forward to the end, Cobra swiped a corner, transferring these stains to 3 locations. All 3 of these stains tested positive for the presence of blood. As he rounds the corner, he holds out his hand to balance himself, creating another blood transfer labeled J. He then enters the living room. He trips and flings his arms to catch himself. There are many things that support this illustration, and we're going to show these details next, starting here. In this illustration, you can see an area saturated here with water. When officers first arrive, you can see these wet areas marked here, and as we move forward, you can see it here on the table as well. Let's rewind that so we can see it here again. In later photos, the water has dried up, but it is visible here and in many other videos. Here's another view from another officer's body cam. In this image, we can see here that 7 cups are on the floor. The other 3 cups remain on the table. Together they made up the triangle at the end. In this section, you would see how the cups would have been set up, each of them holding an inch or 2 of water. Because these cups remain undisturbed, including the bottle on the table and a few other items, it's believed the table wasn't bumped, but instead that the cups were struck from the side. In Beth's interview, she recounts hearing the cups hit the floor.
You heard the pong table slide on the floor like someone had bumped into it. Mm-hmm. Did you hear
anything? Cups fall or something.
You heard what?
Either cups fall off of it or like the table moved to the side.
Let's look more at the living room. Here you can see a list of different markers of different stains found throughout the area. All of these markers were diluted with blood splatters. What happens is, Cobra strikes the cups, and then flings his arms back through the fluid, diluting the blood on his gloves before it casts off to the wall. Because Xana was in the path of the cast-off, it creates a masked area where no stains are found, which is illustrated here. From the time the attack started in Maddie's room to entering the hallway of Xana's room, only 1 minute of time has passed. Thanks again for watching. Part 3 is in the works, and it'll illustrate what happened in Xana.
Did she say there was blood on Murphy? I don't think she did. Yeah, there was no blood on Murphy. The only thing about Murphy was they thought that they had found a possible dog hair on him or on Brian Koberger's computer pad. Like he had like a big computer pad like I do, where it's not just like a mouse, like a mouse pad. It's like a huge mouse pad, and they found a possible dog hair strand there. So they tested it against Murphy, but it wasn't a match. I think it was inconclusive or something like that, or not a match. You'd be able to tell if it was Murphy. Murphy had little curls to him. So, and hey, Jeff, yeah, I didn't notice the cups either over there until, well, I noticed that there was some cups on the floor, but I just took it as they were having a party and there was people sitting on the couch right there. Do you know what I mean? They sat their cups on the floor. Some of them might have got knocked over. I didn't realize they were from the beer pong table until watching this video. And then I was like, huh. No, I think it was dog. It might have been cat hair, but I know that they thought it was dog hair at one point. So I know that they tested. Oh, their dog's barking outside. Sorry. Hold on. My dog's going to start barking. We're chill over here, Mia. We're chill. We're cool. We're cool. We have a golden doodle. Speaking of golden doodles, we have one downstairs and it likes to bark. As soon as it goes outside, it barks. You guys know because you hear Mia. Every time we're live, I'm like, hold on. She's going to bark. Because, she will. I have a Weimaraner, if you guys don't know, and she's a baby. And we have a new Weimaraner in the neighborhood. That's a girl. Her name's Lady. She looks like a boy, though, kind of. No, sorry, Lady, but you do. Mia looks more girlish to me. I don't know. But I'm hoping they could be friends, but I don't think they're going to be. Yeah, that could be it, that he chased Xana and Brian down the stairs. Because I know that that Dylan had said that it sounded like that Murphy was barking at a distance, like he was outside. So he might have followed Brian Kohberger outside and then just hung out there for a minute and then came back in. Like he might not have even been chasing him out, like just following him, just like, who are you? I'm a puppy, like he was 11 months old when this happened. That's so sad that, Kaylee didn't even get to experience his first birthday with him. But Jack does take really good care of that dog. We were looking at pictures the other night. If you're not following Murphy Gonzalez on Instagram, what are you doing with your life? Really, that dog has a better life than all of us put together. He's on boats. He's in cabins. He's out in the wild, just running free with his friends. He's in the lake. I'm like, dang, that animal has it better than me, You're a professional a dog groomer? So Ozzy, okay, I have a question. If you were to be trimming a dog's nails that is extremely strong, like 80 pounds of muscle, what would you, and she doesn't like her nails even touched. She doesn't even want you to touch them. Don't even touch them. What would you do with her? I mean, like muzzle her up. I don't care, but would you muzzle her and still cut her nails? Or would you tell me, sorry, I can't do it? Because I need to get her nails done. I'm terrified. But they're long and like they need done, but she will not let me do them. We tried to hold her down one time. It was so sad. Like Vincent went to go clip it and I was like, not my baby. And I ripped her paw back. He's like, well, I almost had it. I was like, but she's my baby. Like I thought it was going to hurt her because I know where to cut and like, but I didn't want to be the one snipping because I didn't want her to snip at me. There was an open door. Yeah. Ava, I've always said I thought he either entered or exited that door because of that. The neighbor came and said that he walked by with his dog, with her dog. I have the article up here. I still have the articles. I'm not even messing around. Like I have so many articles. I have stuff for Letitia still somehow it's in my Idaho 4. So you just muzzle them. Because I mean, she's had like not her, but her sister, she passed away, but she had to go in timeout one time. And I don't know what that included, but they didn't want us to be there. But a hook, but she'll if you hook her to a wall, she'll rip it out. She's done it. And then we were washing her. We weren't even like doing paws. Yeah. That could be it too. Maybe she didn't fully close the door and the wind kind of opened it. But then I always wondered this though, right? When Dylan ran down the stairs, let's say the door is open, right? At that time. Let's say Brian went out that door. Let's just say for gigs. 4:25, he runs out the door. Wouldn't like Dylan, after like when she ran down to Bethany's room, because she's running down the same set of stairs, she's going right by that door. Wouldn't she swing that door closed and lock it and run to Bethany's room? She never said the door was open. You know what I mean? So that's what is like, well, who opened the dang door then? You know, I mean, because the neighbors sincerely, they seem sincere about it, you know, like, and I think that they would know that like that day, that was the morning, right? Oh, but you go to a horse vet. Oh, maybe I need to go to a horse vet. She is the size of a horse. She's just so strong. I don't want her to break anything of anybody's, you know, but she's the biggest baby and she's the biggest sweetheart. We even bought like the saw thing that we were going to try to saw him down, and then we never used it. $50. I'm like, why we buy this thing then? So what I was going to try to do the cat's claws with it, but she's got an appointment, y'all. I'm sorry. She got an appointment. Hey, Gwen. We're just chit-chatting. We're talking about the case. We're talking about whatever. We're talking about all kinds of stuff. We're about at the end of the live. It's good to see everybody in chat. It's good to see some of the OG people in chat that's been like following this case since like day one, you know? I mean, this case really, I don't know. It really, I don't know. It did something to a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like we saw a lot of people come and go from this case. You have to have some thick skin when you were, not anymore, but when like, I feel like when we were first covering this case, like not like first covering it because nobody knew who did it, but after they arrested Kohlberger, it was like everybody went nuts. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, just nuts. Like, I remember having panels and we'd be yelling at each other. Oh, that was not a good look. It was just crazy. It was crazy. It was like the Wild West. Oh, covered in sandpaper with food hidden inside. I never heard of that. That sounds like a good idea. She loves food. Did you do that? She's looking at me. Oh, Mia Grace, what are we going to do about them calls? I know they bother her. I mean, they bother me. You know what I mean? My goodness. Yeah, I will never forget this case ever. Like, Kylie Rodney was the first case I came in on. And when that case was over, like after I read the autopsy report and everything like that, I wasn't one of those people that was like, oh no, she didn't drown. You know what I mean? Like I took it, the doctor, the pathologist at their word. And I remember getting up, like after I did that live, I got up from my chair and I went to, it was when I was over in this part of the house, and I went to walk out the door and it literally felt like I hit a brick wall. Like I literally was just like, because my brain was like slowing down on thinking like I didn't like have to think of what's new, what's happening in this case. Like, what don't I know? You know what I mean? It was every single day, like that bam, bam, bam. And that was only for a couple of months. This has been 3 years almost. So this case is definitely going to be one that sticks with me for, for the rest of my life. I mean, I even get my nails done for, these are my Xana nails, even though they're kind of chipped. I will never get gel again. And I got my toes done too, blue. So, and then in October, we'll do yellow and white for Ethan. And I think I'll always do that. Like, I think in May, I'll always have pink nails. In June, they'll always be purple. In July, they'll always be blue. And then in October, they'll always be yellow with a little bit of white. I think that'll always be just my thing that I do. I mean, it's just something I can do to, pay my respect. It's not like, a huge thing, but it's just something I can do. And, when I go there, like they're always asking me like, why'd you pick this color? And I can always tell them why, because, this person. So, oh, see you later. Gotta go, Chris. Well, Well, thank you guys for being here tonight. I appreciate it, or being here today. Thank you, Ashley, for the $4.99, Felicity for the $2. Thank you, Kat, for the $5, and PKC, thank you for the $10. I appreciate that so much. You guys have been so good to me today. I'll be back on tomorrow, most likely. I do have to, I want to make a schedule. I've been saying that. I made one, and I think I made it too detailed to where I don't have any time to even just like breathe. So I'm going to redo it, and I'm going to try to stick to a schedule. So I'm going to try to do my lives during the day time, sometime in the afternoon for a little while, just to get like, just until maybe summer's over, that way I can get the lives kind of like out of the way at like 12 o'clock, get them until like 2, and then I can go and enjoy the pool or do whatever. And then I think what we're going to do is do lives like Tuesdays, maybe not Mondays so much, but well, maybe tomorrow, but Tuesdays, Thursdays, and like Saturdays, something like that. Pre-recordeds will be coming out. Thank you, California Dreaming. Oh, thank you, Felicity, for getting a membership. I didn't even know that. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Felicity. Oh, that was Asgets. Let me put her thing back in the chat one more time. There you go. But yeah, oh, Gwen, I think it was. I think this is where I met you. I met a lot of you guys here, like for this case. And I've met a lot of Ohio people for the case that we've been covering lately. I was telling Vincent I might need to do a meet and greet for like, just like if anyone lives in the surrounding states or something, because like of all the people that like we come in contact with now that we're like dealing with like so many Ohio states, I'm just like, dang. Ladybug, you could even come. You live in a surrounding state. That'd be fun. I might have to do a meet and greet sometime. I'd have to like think of somewhere like cool, fun, and like get it catered for you guys or something. Because I wouldn't want you guys like going there and have to pay for stuff. That would be lame-o. But thank you guys for being here. Yeah. So we'll see whatever I do with my schedule, but I do want to try to I want to try to like, yeah, make it to where I have a schedule, because I haven't had one in so long. I think that like I'm just willy-nilly out here in life, and that's fun. That's fun to get that option, but I just need more structure. You know what I mean? I'm one of those people that like, I'm used to, doing stuff at a certain time. So I am going to do that. I want to stick out some time for, for my business as well. If you've never shopped at my boutique, it's poppyandari.com. And thank you, Kat, for becoming a new member. Look at that. And I will be doing members only lives at least once a month. I want to try to do them. Those will probably be maybe like a Sunday or Monday thing. And we'll just kind of like talk about what's going on, what's happening out there, gossip a little, talk a little shit, do what we do. But yeah, welcome on in, everybody. And thank you guys so much for your memberships and your donations today. I truly appreciate it. The channel doesn't run without y'all. When I say that, I mean it. Like, I could not believe all of my House of Horrors, Ohio, Vinton County videos. They're all getting the yellow. And I know it's my wording. I know it's probably because what I'm saying, they're living in horrific conditions and stuff. And I don't know what word, because I use BLOOD on this blood. I've said that 15 million times today, and I bet this video will be fine. We'll figure that. We'll see. Because I don't think I say anything that bad on the other videos. I don't think, but I don't know. Well, thank you, Felicity. I appreciate you guys. And if you guys want to leave a comment after the live, that always helps as well. And you can always hype the video. But thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate it. I'll let you guys go. Go and spend some time out in the sun. If it's nice out there, I'm going to go take the dogs on a walk, because I know this one's looking at me. She's like, it's time. It's time. So I'm going to go get my steps in a little bit. But thank you guys for becoming members, donations, just being here, hitting the like button, just hanging out with me. I appreciate all of it. So I'll see you guys all later. Have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight, we gonna let it rain. Tonight, we gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we gonna let it rain. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt.